Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a fan art concept that's been making some serious waves online. Imagine this, a medium shot of She-Hulk, looking absolutely epic in her classic green form. She's wearing a torn yellow t-shirt, tied at the side, which is a cool, casual look for her. She's cracking her neck, a smirk playing on her lips, and delivers a classic, witty one-liner. Looks like the shirt's not the only thing that's torn tonight. It's pure Jen Walters sass, and we love to see it, and we love... But who is she talking to? Across from her stands a brand new original character, Ben Dinosaur. Think of a hulking humanoid dinosaur, with a color scheme you'd expect from a prehistoric beast. He's not talking back, just letting out a deep, rumbling growl in response. The whole scene is set in photorealistic daylight, which really makes the details pop. The texture of She-Hulk's skin, the rips in the fabric of her shirt, the scales on Ben Dinosaur. It's all incredibly vivid. This single image sparks so many questions, right? It's a classic superhero trope, the calm, confident hero facing off against a monstrous, seemingly mindless brute. But is Ben Dinosaur really mindless? Or is there more to him? The name Ben suggests a person underneath the monstrous exterior. Could he be a scientist who experimented on himself with dinosaur DNA? Maybe he's a victim of some cosmic event that transformed him. The possibilities are endless. Let's break down the character designs. She-Hulk's look here is a perfect blend of power and personality. The torn shirt isn't just for show. It hints at a recent transformation or a fight she's just been in. The fact that she's taken the time to tie it up shows her typical flair and control, even in a chaotic situation. She's not just a rage monster. She's Jen Walters, attorney at law, and she's always in charge. The smirk is the cherry on top. It's a mix of confidence, amusement, and a warning. She's not intimidated. She's ready for round 2, or maybe she just ended round 1 decisively. Now for Ben Dinosaur. The description hulking immediately puts him in the same weight class as characters like the Hulk or the Abomination. The dinosaur color is a great prompt for the imagination. Is he green like a T-Rex, or maybe a mottled brown and gray like a Triceratops? Does he have spikes, plates, a tail? The growl is his only response, which paints him as primal and ferocious. This contrast with She-Hulk's witty dialogue is fantastic. It's brains versus brawn, or maybe brains and brawn versus just brawn. The setting is also key. Photorealistic daylight grounds this fantastical confrontation in a believable world. It's not some dark alley or alien planet. This is happening in broad daylight, maybe in the middle of a city street or a park. This raises the stakes. Civilians could be in danger. The destruction from their fight would be on full display. This isn't a secret battle. It's a public spectacle. You can almost imagine the news helicopters circling overhead, capturing this incredible showdown. So let's start building a narrative around this. What could have led to this moment? My theory is that Ben Dinosaur is a new creation of a classic villain, maybe someone like the High Evolutionary or Dr. Moreau, who have a history of creating animal-human hybrids. Ben could have been let loose on the city as a test, and She-Hulk was the first hero on the scene. The torn shirt could be from her initial clash with him, where she underestimated his strength. But now, she's got his number. The neck crack and the smirk are her way of saying, "Okay, I see what you're about. Let's do this for real." The line "looks like the shirt's not the only thing that's torn tonight" is a double entendre. On one hand, she's referring to her clothes getting ripped. On the other, she's talking about tearing him apart. It's a bold threat delivered with a smile, which is peak She-Hulk. What about Ben's backstory? Let's flesh that out a bit. What if Ben was a paleontologist, Dr. Ben Rivas, who was obsessed with bringing dinosaurs back to life? In his desperation, he uses a combination of recovered DNA and gamma radiation, a nod to the Hulk universe, on himself. The experiment goes horribly wrong, and he becomes this hybrid creature, losing his intellect and becoming a creature of instinct. He's not evil, just a tragic figure, a modern-day Jekyll and Hyde. In this scenario, She-Hulk's fight with him becomes more complex. She can't just pummel him into submission. As a lawyer and a compassionate person, she would sense the man trapped inside the monster. Her goal wouldn't just be to defeat him, but to save him. The smirk, then, isn't just about the fight. It's about her realizing she has a new, very complicated case on her hands. She needs to stop the rampage without permanently hurting the man inside. This adds a whole new layer to the scene. The growl from Ben Dinosaur isn't just a threat. It could be a cry of pain and confusion. He's trapped in a body he can't control. This makes him a sympathetic antagonist. We, the audience, are now torn. We want to see She-Hulk win, but we also feel for Ben. That's the hallmark of a great story. Let's think about the fight choreography. She-Hulk is known for her strength, but also her agility and fighting skill. Ben Dinosaur would be all raw power and brute force. Imagine She-Hulk using the environment to her advantage, using her smaller size, relatively speaking, to dodge his clumsy but devastating attacks. She'd be landing precise, powerful blows, trying to incapacitate him rather than destroy him. We could see her using a lamp post, like a baseball bat, or ripping up a piece of asphalt to use as a shield. The dynamic could evolve throughout the fight. Initially, She-Hulk might be enjoying the physical challenge, but as she realizes Ben isn't just a monster, her attitude would shift. The witty quips might stop, replaced by a more focused and determined demeanor. She might start trying to talk to him, to reach the man inside. Ben? Ben, can you hear me? Fight it. That kind of thing. And how does it end? She-Hulk eventually manages to subdue him, maybe by finding a weak spot or by triggering a memory from his past life that momentarily stuns him. She doesn't knock him out with a single punch, but through a combination of strength, strategy, and empathy. The final shot could be She-Hulk standing over the now unconscious Ben Dinosaur, her expression no longer smirking, but one of concern and responsibility. This single image has the potential for a whole story arc. The first part is the confrontation. The second part could be She-Hulk working with other heroes, maybe Bruce Banner or Reed Richards, to find a cure for Ben. This would explore the scientific and ethical dilemmas of his condition. Can he be saved? Should he be? What if the dinosaur side is too dominant? It also creates a great new character for the Marvel Universe. Ben Dinosaur could become a recurring character. Maybe he can't be fully cured, but learns to control his transformations, becoming a reluctant anti-hero. He could be a new member of a team like the Gamma Corps, or even an ally to She-Hulk, his raw power complementing her more refined skills. Imagine the two of them fighting side by side against a bigger threat. The banter would be amazing. She-Hulk with her sharp wit and Ben, maybe only able to speak in simple sentences or just growls, but conveying a lot through his actions. The artist who came up with this concept really tapped into something special. It respects the established character of She-Hulk while introducing something fresh and exciting. It's a perfect example of how a simple what-if scenario can blossom into a compelling narrative. It shows an understanding of what makes She-Hulk such a great character: her power, her intelligence, her humor, and her heart. I'd love to see this explored further, maybe in a fan comic or an animated short. The visual potential is huge. The contrast in their designs, the dynamic action, the emotional depth, it's all there. It is a testament to the creativity of the fan community and how they can contribute to the worlds we love in such meaningful ways. What do you guys think? What's your backstory for Ben Dinosaur? How do you see this fight playing out? Let me know your theories and ideas down in the comments. I'm really curious to hear your take on this awesome concept. It just goes to show that a single picture can truly be worth 1,000 words, or in this case, a whole potential comic book series. Thanks so much for watching and for nerding out with me today. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. See you in the next video.